Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 24th of June, comes to you from London. And we see a little bit more red on the screen today, so just always at a first glance in the morning, I kind of know what's happening. And we see here the dollar is up slightly, not enough to change the short-term trend, which is bearish, but still long-term holding on to that bullish trend. The euro is sitting at 112.89. And we see here just a short-term bullish trend, but the long-term trend is still bearish. Against the yen, dollar is down slightly, sitting at 106.50. We saw quite a dive there yesterday, so we're in bearish territory there as well. And sterling is sitting at 124, just strengthening a little bit against that weakening dollar. But 110.48 against the euro, just still in a bearish trend there. So sterling is the weaker of the three. And against the Swiss franc, we're below that 118 level. Looking at Bitcoin, sitting at 9,500, not a lot of change there. So we've really been in this range now for several weeks. The S&P 500 index was up 0.4% yesterday, so its move continues. And we see the Nasdaq also pushing to new highs. A little bit of a doji candle here, a gravestone, where it's actually gone up and ended back for the day. So we didn't hold on to the gains mid-session. And looking at the Dow, we're up 0.5% there overnight as well. The futures are down today. The S&P mini future down 2/3%, and the Nasdaq future down 0.5% almost. So it does look like the market will open slightly lower. And we're seeing in the UK the FTSE down 1.5%. So we're seeing quite a move there, and the future is actually trading lower. Looking at the DAX. We see here we're down 1.4%, and the CAC Quarante down 1.3%. So European markets quite a bit lower, and the US futures not helping there. Japan was down 1/3%. The Hang Seng was down 0.48%. And the Shanghai Composite actually managing to rise. It has been making new 2-3 month highs there, so it has actually looked bullish on the medium and short term, but the long term chart with all these downside targets still has work to do. The Sensex was down 0.3%, and the Aussie market was slightly up, so we're seeing that. We'll take a look at the energy mix in a minute. Looking at gold, we're sitting at 1771, just holding on to that high territory, 6-7 year highs there. Silver not quite as strong, down 0.5% this morning, but still holding on to bull trends, and US 10-year yields much the same. We did see some of the tech stocks just falling back yesterday. Apple, with the market, rose and then fell back. Amazon actually managing to hold on to its gains. Google not quite making the new highs that we've seen on the other tech majors, and Microsoft also just holding on to its gains, so still looking pretty strong on those charts. Taking a look at the energy mix, we've got Brent crude this morning down nearly 1%. It's just some signs here that we might be running out of steam on this trend. New downside target there, 41.35, and this 39.78 target is being activated as well. So it does look like we might just see a little bit of a pullback in the price. WTI is down 1.4%. And equally, we are just seeing a little bit of a fallback there as well, and downside target about 2% activated. US nat gas flat overall. We saw yesterday we went into bearish territory below the cloud, just struggling really at this in this low 160s area, so we just need to keep an eye on that. Coal's run continues. It's up at $56.60 and starting to make signs of breaking to new highs here. New upside targets. So coal is looking set for a recovery. And emissions have had an amazing run of late, but this morning they're down nearly 2%. And we have activated a downside target to 24.23. Looking at MBP front month, we're up 1.97%, so nearly 2% here, breaking higher. We've got good upside targets. We were bullish emissions this week, and bullish on MBP this week, and it still looks pretty good. TTF has got work to do. It's down slightly this morning. needs to break through that €6 mark to really be sure of a run there. And we are seeing that summer TTF we are seeing is actually up this morning, so that's looking better. German power is still holding above the €40 mark, but it is down nearly 1% this morning. Unexciting downside targets, big upside targets. We are in a new uptrend on German power, so that's quite significant. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.